What's going on, my beautiful peoples? Welcome back to the channel. The year is finally almost over, and we have so much new content about to drop for a lot of games going into 2026. And consistently, time and time again, your boy keeps getting asked the question, is WoW worth playing 2024? Is it worth playing 2025? And guess what? Now we're going to 2026, and I'm still hearing the same questions over and over. So your boy is here to finally go ahead and address that question and answer it for you guys and figure out, is WoW worth playing? Is WoW even the right game for you? Let's find out. Without trying to overcomplicate this video, I'm gonna break it down into categories of type of players, okay? So we're gonna have the casual player that wants to play WoW when it used to be WoW. And that's gonna be your classic era. You're gonna have the other kind of players who's like more the middle ground, who wants to feel that nostalgia but with progression, okay? And they're gonna be their own separate category, and that's gonna be anniversary. And with content about to come up, TBC is gonna be dropping pre-patch January 13th. There's gonna be loads of content there for you, but still giving you that itch of nostalgia. And then you're gonna have the handful of players that's gonna want to play retail, which is current modern WoW, and those are a completely different breed of people, okay? And each specific game type for that specific player is gonna scratch that specific niche that you're looking for. Are you the kind of person who wants to play WoW casually? You want to feel WoW the way it was meant to be played originally. You want to consistently feel a progression of development of your character. You want to dive into lore. Maybe Classic might be the best choice for you. I know some of those key points I just touched on could definitely go for other game modes as well. But the reason why I think Classic might be the option for you is because just like Anniversary, which is nearly the same thing, Classic stays in Classic. You do not get any additional expansions added on top of it. So from vanilla to vanilla is all you're basically getting. And if that's what you remember playing and that's what you want to continuously play, that is going to be the best option for you, because you know your progression throughout the entire game is going to be the same thing in Anniversary, just without all those added content and, unfortunately, some quality of life as well. Now, those kind of specific players are going to be the ones either logging in every single day going hard, which there are a few of them doing that for Classic Era. And you're going to have the casual players who just wants to dive into WoW from time to time again and just see how the game still feels, you know, just get that little nostalgia itch. Don't even worry about doing raids and dungeons. Don't even worry about, you know, rushing to get the highest gear possible to go for the next expansion. You're just gonna go there, just casually go ahead and kill some murlocs, just have a good time, chill by the water, maybe just walk in the city where it's basically abandoned half the time, and just hang out, have a good time, you know, just scratch that itch. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But if you want just a little bit more, just a little spice on top of that, then maybe you're an Anniversary player. And I know WoW has all these different game modes and all these confusing names, and everyone's just like, you know, which one exactly to play? Well, Classic Anniversary is specifically Classic Era, but with the expansions added on top of it, meaning you're gonna have your basic vanilla, then you're gonna have your Burning Crusade, then you're gonna be going into Wrath of the Lich King, hopefully, just like other expansions as well that they've done before already, where they last left off on Mr. Pandaria. It's the same progression, hopefully, throughout the entire expansion this time. We don't know how far the calendar is gonna be for Anniversary. But if you want that consistent progression while still having the Classic Era feel, Anniversary is the game mode for you. This way, you can play your 0 to 60, you can feel that grind, you can feel the slow progression of your character getting stronger, you can learn the ins and outs of your character, because unfortunately, the classic games, if you don't know how to play your character, it's going to be very unforgiving for you. Unlike retail, where we're gonna have one button rotations, we are having a completely revamp of basically all skills of every single class to be readily, easily available for all the new players, because now they're jumping to console, and the entire new game is getting reworked so much where it's, in my opinion, very unrecognizable to what WoW really is, especially being a PC game. So if you want that, you know, dive in, learn your controls, have 30 macros assigned to your action bars and all that kind of stuff, then Classic Anniversary might be the better option for you. The best part about Classic Anniversary is going to be the expansions, and that's going to be the main difference between Classic Era and then retail, is because you still get the Classic Anniversary feeling, but you consistently keep getting expansions. You're getting more content to take that Warlock gang. Still going strong in Classic Anniversary, especially TBC coming up. Yo, if you guys don't play with me, let me know. Drop it in the Discord. Hit me up in the comments, because, listen, Warlocks, we're going hard in TBC, okay? But if you want to master your Warlock, your Warrior, your Mage, whatever it may be, okay? Anniversary is going to be where you want to play, because you're going to really have to dedicate your macros. You're going to have to learn your rotations. You're going to have to learn specific movements and how to learn to play your character properly. You're not going to have that handicap soft cushion that retail offers you, and that's the best part about Anniversary. If you want that challenge, if you want that grind and to feel the satisfaction of what an MMORPG traditionally is, I feel like you're going to be an Anniversary Classic player. Anniversary Classic player. Too many game modes. Then, in its own subcategory of its own, for those juvenile delinquents that just loves to live life a little unnecessarily difficult, you know, just like, okay, I have one pack of ramen to last me 2 days, but I'm not gonna use the seasoning packet in it. Those are the type of players who's gonna eat just plain ramen noodles, no seasoning. Those dudes or girls are gonna be playing Classic Anniversary hardcore, okay? Because like Classic Anniversary was not already hard on its own, being, you know, traditional, getting wiped out off of like just two enemies. Hardcore, one death, game over. Literally hardcore. That's what it means. It's gonna be permadeath, and that's not for your boy, okay? Because your boy be getting distracted way too easily sometimes. I'm over here in the middle of doing one quest. I'm like, oh look, there's a mushroom. I need that mushroom. Nothing to do with my quest or any quest I have queued. I just like collecting this shit, okay? And I see a mushroom. I'm gonna want to go get the mushroom, and then bam! Behind the mushroom, there's like 5 dudes waiting for me. Dead. This is why I don't play hardcore. But for those non-seasoning ramen pack eaters out there, hardcore is your joint by all means. I love seeing the content you guys create. And if you're that kind of individual who wants to take a challenge to another level, hardcore may potentially be the option for you, because at that point, almost every single encounter and battle you're having is going to be a decision you need to think. Am I ready for this fight? Am I prepared? Where's my health? Where's my mana? All that needs to come into consideration before going to a single fight, okay? If that's your tea, by all means, hardcore is for you. And then last but not least, we have retail. I feel retail, everyone consistently keeps saying retail is WoW. Retail is the progression of WoW. We've come to the stage now where the progression of WoW is far beyond the progression where I like it to be. It's progressed so far where I'm just like all the way back here and WoW's all the way over here, and it's like I don't want to be over there. Now we need like a classic retail at this point, because I'm not with the progression no longer. I don't like the fact that all the classes are getting revamped for their abilities to water it down, to make it consistently easier. Like, I get what they're trying to do, but at the same time, there should be options for the players who work their asses off to learn the ins and out of their character, or have a rotation, have everything set up, like their whole battle stations, like they know, you know, all their gang signs on their keyboards and stuff. They know exactly what they're doing. And now you're kind of watering it down to the point, it's like, oh, a couple of clicks, 3 or 4 button macros, and I'm good to go. It changes the pace, the vibe. It changes what WoW really is. Okay, so WoW is really at a stage now where you have to really decide, do you want a challenge in a sense in regards to daily tasks and fights, or do you want a more soft, cushiony, welcoming gaming experience, which obviously, yes, comes with quality of life that Anniversary Hardcore, and Classic Era does not have. But at the same time, I feel like it's lacking the feeling of what World of Warcraft is and what it's been over the years of that difficult, challenging game that it could potentially be. Obviously, that's not saying retail is not hard at all, because you still got the raids and the dungeons and the Mythic Plus, and then most of the time you got these try-hards where if your gear is not at 900 and something and you don't know every second millisecond of the best route as a tank to hit a dungeon, or you're not DPSing high enough, or they just don't like you just for whatever reason, and you get kicked out the group, retail could be a pretty toxic place, you know. It's not necessarily the most welcoming environment when it comes to endgame content on a higher level, but that's why everybody on Reddit or the comments are going to consistently keep telling you, you know, play the game, have fun, try to find yourself a guild that is a welcoming experience for you and that will actually help you get your character where you need it to be, or walk you through the process. Some people are actually nice enough to be like, hey, you're a tank, I'm a tank, I know this route, let me show you it, so and the next time we raid together, whatever, you know, you're gonna know your route, I can play a different role. You do have players who could be very nice and welcoming and making your experience extremely nice, but they are far and few in between, and that's the problem. I would honestly say if you want to play retail, I feel like retail nowadays especially is more of a solo game, because in my experience, when you play retail and I'm in the chat typing away, asking some questions or trying to figure out, you know, who's doing what or whatnot, no one will ever reply to you. Never. You're like, I need to shout it out consistently. I'm like, hey, who's going this way or who's doing what? Just for someone to finally decide to answer me after like 5 replies. And at that point, I'm just like, I'm done. I'm just not gonna talk to nobody. And it's like a chain reaction where it consistently passes on that toxicity of, you know, this is now a MMORPG game that plays as a single player game. And that's great for some people like myself. I currently play WoW in that single player experience and I'm perfectly happy with it. But when I am teaming up in group content, I want to experience the group content as a group. That is the purpose of an MMORPG. Otherwise, it could just be labeled as a single player game and just throw it online right there. That is one of the biggest benefactors, in my personal opinion, in Classic Era and Anniversary. There's been consistently so many times where I'm on a fresh character or I'm on a level 60 and I'm just walking through and I see somebody doing the same quest as me and I'm just like, hey, blah 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 blah, are you doing this? And like, yeah, I'm like, send them an invite immediately. And 9 out of 10 times, they're gonna party up with you. They're gonna go ahead and help you finish your quest as you help finish theirs. But the best part about it, if you help them do their quest first, because obviously they're already in the middle of it, they're not just gonna leave the party and dip. I've never even had that experience. Almost every single player is gonna stay with you, help you finish that quest that you just helped them finish, and then like, hey, are you doing any of these quests too? No? Alright, deuces. But if you guys are still on the same multiple quests, a lot of these times our players are gonna go ahead and just like, yo, let's go ahead and knock them out, let's have some fun. And that's the best part about in my opinion, Anniversary and Classic, you still have that camaraderie. You have that friendship of what World of Warcraft used to be known for. You know, you have that connection with a complete stranger halfway around the world, but because you guys are sharing the same goal, you guys are able to just match each other on the same wavelength, you know what I'm saying? But retail doesn't exist. Well, let me not say it does not exist. It is very rare to run into individuals who are willing to do content with you just for the fun of it, or just being nice, going out of their way to help you out. Okay, if in retail, if there's not something in it for the other player, most of the time, in my experience, they're not gonna help you. And I feel like that's just such a big disconnection from what the game is meant to be played. So I think Blizzard's at the stage with retail right now where they're making the game progressively easier to be welcoming for new players. And with the new players coming in, that will kind of like balance out the ecosystem in regards to camaraderie and teaming up to do content and just making the game less toxic. But at the same time, that's a massive shift from what the game is. So those are your four main categories of classic era, you know, traditional World of Warcraft. You play it, there's no expansion. So when you hit 60 and you hit all the dungeons and you do everything you need to do and you get max armor and all the craziest collectibles, that's it. You're literally going to be hitting a wall at some point or another in era. Okay? And you have to realize that. With Anniversary, you're not going to be hitting a wall per se because there are going to be expansions. And yes, you can grind in Anniversary and eventually hit that wall, but it's going to take you very, very long to do so. And when you finally do, within, you know, a couple months potentially, there's going to be another expansion and a crap ton of content and collectibles to go ahead and do as well. So the potential is not necessarily endless, but it is fairly long in Anniversary. And in Hardcore, you're going to be hitting that wall every time you die. So I think Hardcore might be endless. No, because you got those dudes out there who's like insane max level, got everything possible you can ever dream of in Anniversary Hardcore, and they're just like chilling like kings and in the main capitals. And you guys are a different breed, I keep telling you this. But if you want to have the most content readily available, visit previous expansions, play the game with the highest quality of life, the best graphics, most fast-paced battle mechanics, most content to be absorbed, then retail is going to be the option for you. Just expect it not to have that level of difficulty through leveling, because you're going to fly through leveling and you may not be fully connected to your character the way you would be in the other options like Anniversary, Era, or Hardcore, because you grow with your characters. So you become that character, you learn the ins and outs, and you're very attached to it. Versus retail, if you're able to make that connection with your character, that's great. Otherwise, you may be leveling too fast where you don't fall in love with that character, you don't connect with it. But if you was to play that same character on an Anniversary realm, now all of a sudden that character becomes like your life. So there's going to be a drastic difference in regards to game modes and how you play them, because the connection you make with that game mode can make or break your experience in WoW. Is World of Warcraft worth playing in 2026? Yes and no. That really depends on the type of player you are, what game mode you choose, and if it's your vibe. The game is fairly old, but they're still keeping it somewhat refreshed. And at the end of the day, it's $15 plus tax. And with that monthly subscription, you can play every single possible game mode they have to offer. So you can jump into retail thinking, hey man, I wanna do Mythic Plus raids, I wanna have the best experience possible in World of Warcraft, and I'm gonna collect every single mount in transmog. And housing is a thing now, you know? If you love building houses, Retail's for you. That's your thing. If you want to play an MMORPG to build a house, there you go. Blizzard finally answered you after so many years. But if you don't like retail and you thought you would have and you didn't, then guess what? You don't got to do anything else. You have so many other options to jump into and play, and you might end up falling in love with Classic Anniversary. Maybe you don't like seasoning and you want to go play hardcore. You never know, but you won't know until you play. So I say, yeah, World of Warcraft, worth it in 2026. Pay the subscription 1 month, one time, try out all the game modes, see what works best. And hey, if you didn't like it, it was just 15 bucks. Anyways, guys, that's all I got for you this time. We are wrapping up this year with so much content, and I'm so excited for 2026 and to finally be playing all these new content coming our way, whether it be World of Warcraft, whether it be Diablo, or so many other MMORPG games, and just in general that I'm going to actually start introducing and playing on this channel. This channel is not going to be specifically only World of Warcraft. I hope you guys are okay with that. If not, let me know in the comments below. But that's it for you guys. Happy holidays. I don't know if I'll be seeing you guys again before the New Year's, but if I do, love you guys. Peace.